All right, Cryo is gathered around the fire to tell a story.
All right. So this is the story of how I was able, well, me and the tribe were able to defeat our enslavers from Oceanside. I think I was the age around 11, just a young little dragonborn. But me and my brothers had already decided of making a plan to rebel, as well as a couple more dragonborns. And oh boy, it was a brutal night that night. As time kept going, as our shifts ended, we all held back to our cells. But one of the guards, one that felt petty towards us, left our cells open.
He looked upon you with a quick little voice. Young Cryo, I know times are tough, but now's your chance. Kaloni's in her tent asleep. Take your brothers and go.
As I wake up from that, I wake up and I start going towards our brothers, waking up Oro, Copper, and Bronze. As we start heading out, we started releasing the other Dragonborns, hoping to sneak out of this without fighting.
The
But
other
little did we know,
Dragonborns were a bit skeptical, though. Some closed their cages back as you went along.
and those who were deciding to stay, we plead them and ask them to come, since we both know that staying here would just mean death either way. Those who still decided to stay in their cages stayed, and the remaining went outside.
The camp is quiet. Not a guard to be seen except for the one on the wall, the one they always kept mounted during the dark.
As we saw the guard that was mounted there every night, watching us like a hawk, one of the black dragonborn, able to hide in the night sky, was able to take him down. As we started to approach more towards the central of the camp, hoping to sneak into the shoreline so we can get out here with the boats.
Kaloni stands waiting at the dock.
How did you know? Why is she here?
Cryo, baby, I've raised you since you were an egg. Did you think you'd slip so easily?
As she said those words, me and my brothers launched our breath attacks straight at her, and yet nothing to her.
So, nothing does happen to her, but as Cryo later depicts, when he defeated Kaloni, she had a single scar on her eye. That scar is from Cryo's ice attack.
As we all knew that we weren't able to escape the island or go back to our cages without being killed, we decided to stand our ground and fight. And the battle ensued between our enslavers and us.
It was an ugly
Brutal
battle.
enough.
You lost several kinfolk. In fact, the only ones to leave this island that night were you, your brothers, and a handful of other dragonborns. Kaloni forfeited the battle and took one of the last boats and left with what little bit of army she had left.
As we were able to see that Kaloni and the remaining of her men left the island. Although we might have won this battle, we knew it wasn't a victory of how many brothers we have lost that day.
That
Now
night,
the
oh, that night that you escaped, Cryo has always and will forever remember this as the day he lost more lives than he ever wished. And this day rests on his soul to this day. It's not something he can forget. Things he still wakes up dreaming about. The blood he held on his hands from his brothers fallen that day.
As the majority of us escaped towards the main island, we knew that we had to go back and save the rest of our brethren and free the island and make it our own home. But that is a story for another time.